about to see what happens when you spend $7,000 painting a car for your first time and you have no clue what you're doing, no practice, nothing. We break it down, we make it dumb simple so you can absorb and understand and have confidence in knowing how to attack this process. That's exactly what Karma Speed is about. If you don't know what Karma Speed is, that's the brand I created for this channel. That's what this hat is. These jet tags, WRX, STI, GTI, there's a bunch on the website, go check it out. If that message is relatable to you, you guys like what we have going on here, the best way to support is karmaspeed.com. But my hope after you see this process is that maybe you weren't thinking about ever doing this, but after watching this video, you think, I think I could do it. That's my goal with this, and if you haven't thought about it at all, maybe you'll start thinking about it, and maybe one day you'll do this yourself. I straight up had the paint booth collapse on me at one point when I was spraying the base coat. Randall and I accidentally messed up the last step with the clear coat, and we thought we ruined the car completely at the end. In another episode following this, we're gonna fix it, but I'm gonna show you what happened. It's been an absolute journey. Randall and I bonded a lot through this. It was a super humbling experience. I'm excited to share it with you guys. And we took one huge step closer to being our goal of just being savages building cars. Not having to second guess anything. We know exactly what we're doing every step of the way. And you guys are watching the part where we're learning what the heck we're doing. Hang on tight, we have a couple more things we absolutely have to go over before we dive into the process and you see the color. I promise it's worth it. You're gonna step away from this video with a lot of value. The car behind me is fully painted. I've picked a very special color that is very unique. I think you guys are gonna like. We'll talk about how it came about and what it is a little bit later in the episode, but we'll get there. There's a story behind it. This happens to be one of the harder colors to spray, and that couldn't have been more of a wrong choice as a new guy. It didn't come out bad, but there are some areas that I'm gonna show you guys later on in the series that will give you an idea of what you're getting into. It's nothing I regret, but it's something that you definitely learn from experience, and Jason probably didn't say anything to me about it because he wanted me to learn the hard way. Those are the mistakes that turn you into being someone really good. So it was hard on the wallet because these colors are the most expensive. I think I spent about $4 grand just in liquid, like at the paint store for everything. I had no perception on what would be the best choice for the given situation of being a first timer. I had no clue. Learned everything after the fact. Not to mention paint guns, primer gun, air compressor, air dryer, tape, paper, a mask, the inflatable boost. All for the love of just building confidence, building cars, and getting after it. I will break down the complete cost in another video in this series after this. I think you guys will find it very interesting, obviously, how much I spent and on what. It'll give you a good idea of what you're getting into, but the next time we paint a car, it's gonna be much cheaper. So I'm really excited about that because I plan on doing this for the rest of my life. And the last major part of this story before we dive into the process is that when I started this build, I had no clue how I was gonna pay for it. Everything on YouTube just looks like it's all fine and dandy. Guys, I am out here sending it on this, right? Randall and I have a dream, and sometimes you just gotta say a prayer, do your due diligence, work day and night shift for years on end, and sometimes things just happen. Well, this is exactly that. You guys have noticed in the past I've always ran Motul oil. Ever since I got into the Subaru world, I just kind of fell in love with not only do they have the best product for the engines that I like the most, which are the Subaru engines, they have great branding, they support grassroots racing. I look up to Travis Pastrana because he's just a fun haver, he likes rally, he's sponsored by Motul. It's just a whole thing, right? And so I had been in touch with Motul and they helped me out with product over the years. And so for the last probably 2.5, 3 years, I've just been building that relationship, knocking on any door I can. So hopefully one day they can make something happen that I couldn't do by myself. Well, it turns out, to be completely transparent, I got an offer for an amount of money I did not want to turn down to post about a different oil company. I went to Motul and said, hey, I love you guys to death. I love your product. I don't want to push someone else's product just for money. But hey, it's going to pay for me to paint my car and get it done. And for me to get the content out, that is my job. That would be the best thing to do. Motul flat out said, we got you. Here's a little bit more money. Let's talk about something going on for next year. All of a sudden, I had a good grip of cash, enough to get this car painted and invest in taking it to the next step.
Yeah, not bad. It was a little hard to get a right angle on it.
Welcome to the paint extravaganza. Randall's organization. Really quick, because it does get a little bit interesting when you dive into the paint process. You need to understand how to mix the paint, primer, clear coat, reducer, all that. And so each of these products has a technical information, tech data sheet, whatever you want to call it. And the paint supplier, wherever you buy it from, can print them out for you. Randall went ahead and laminated it, put it in a binder, and then he made our paint mixing ratio quick guide that we had on the wall. So it's simple. When you have these mixing cups right here, a bunch of stuff is linked in the description, everything we use. These paint cups have the ratios on them that make it really easy. All you do is just read it off. So with our primer, we have 4 parts of the primer, 1 part activator. 4-to-1, super dumb simple with the cups. Then we go on to our base coat, which is our color. We have 2 parts of the base coat and 1 part of the reducer. Dumb simple, 2-to-1. It's not stressful at all. Then we go down to our clear coat. We have 3 parts clear, 1 part hardener, 1 part reducer, 3-to-1-to-1. Don't sweat it, it's freaking easy. And when you're organized like Randall, it's even easier. Give Randall a follow on Instagram. I'll put his at right here for being organized and keeping us visually sane. You're the man, Randall. And if you're wondering about these new cabinets, we'll touch on that soon in another video on some garage upgrades. This right here is an air dryer. Costs about $800 new. We found it on OfferUp, not even used, for $500. Went and scooped it, hooked it up to our current air line. We run our drain line downwards with gravity. That way the water can drain out of the system and we have dry air going to our paint guns. Our 2 guns, Eastwood, I'll have them linked in the description. We have the P500, CC500. This is our clear coat, base coat, well, color and clear coat gun. This is our primer gun. So these have 2 different tip sizes. Your primer, you're going to spray with a 1.7 tip size, and your base coat and clear coat, you're going to spray with a 1.4 size. So a smaller hole, so you have finer paint particles in the air. All of our tape, obviously, we have some adhesion promoter in cans, and for certain areas like the wing and stuff like that, we have our clear. This is our clear coat. So this is CTR baking clear coat, DC 5300. We have our high temp reducer, hardener, Diamond paint, primer, activator, adhesion promoter, couple different grit options as far as sandpaper. We're gonna want to get this down to a 600 grit once the primer is down, clean it, and then we'll spray the color base coat on it. These are the 2 guns right here. They look identical. They have pressure regulators on the bottom. This is the Eastwood cup that it comes with. We're actually doing a 3M setup that you're gonna see, but to do this first test run, we are gonna use the Eastwood cup on top. So we'll get to the 3M stuff that looks all fancy. You can see through and you can see the color on the paint gun. And when you spray upside down, that way it still has pressure. We'll get to that. We both have respirators. We've got our cartridges for our face masks. So the tack cloth is when there's any sort of dust particles on the actual surface, you can use this to wipe it off. I think the biggest stressor in this whole situation is One, knowing what to order, so I'll link that in the description. Two, knowing how to mix things, so we're gonna break that down. It's important to get your tech data sheets from wherever you buy the paint from, because everything has a drying time and how much time you let it dry in between coats. We've got our lights ready. Really quick, P500 primer gun. We're giving away one of them to you guys. Two simple steps for you. It's completely free. We're including the 3M PPS system, so the hard cup, the liner inside, which allows you to spray upside down. Really nice. The lid has a filter in it, so we know nothing's gonna be in our paint or primer. Just an extra filter right before it enters the gun. This keeps your mess down. This is just a professional way to go. This setup will probably run you about 300 with tax for the gun, about 100 and something with tax for the PPS system. So this is about a $400+ setup. So if one of you guys likes the sound of getting this for free, so you can start laying down some primer, get yourself a paint gun, and get spraying for the first time like we did in this video, all you gotta do is go to Eastwood's Instagram, hit that follow button, go to my Instagram, hit that follow button, look out for a video I drop shortly after this video. I'll have all the information in my Instagram video on how to get entered to win this. It will be super simple, completely free. We'll pick someone in the comments, and one of you guys will have a pro level setup ready for primer. We have this fender that we are not using. We're gonna do a full run through, paint this, see what kind of results we can get, see how it comes out.
Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. I've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is. Start talking the real. Yes, you're gonna have people turn their backs, but it's time for us to keep it real. Just keep talking that real, bro. Do what you do. I know what you do. Just keep doing that. Talk the real.
Another blower that we don't have room for.
They're ready to spray. I'm gonna leave it to a professional to teach you how the controls work on a gun. So I have a Paint Society video in the description. That way you can get clear, expert information. I'm still trying to learn by doing. With that being said, let's get into spraying so you can see this color change. At this point, Randall's having all the fun. It's time for him to show me the ropes. We're gonna go to 4:1 ratio on this primer setup. We're doing 4 ounces of primer, 1 ounce of Slow Activator, and there's several different activator options. We did slow because we're in a hot environment, so we're gonna add 1 ounce of activator, mix it up with our mixing stick, and we're gonna put our liner in our PPS cup, pour the primer and activator mixture into the cup, put the lid on, screw it onto the gun with our 3M PPS system adapter on the gun. We're going to set up a little test area so that we can make sure we have our fluid control knob right, we have our handle correct, and then once we got everything dialed and we had our fan and everything right, we're going to go ahead and start spraying. And this was a pretty fun process, a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but once I got comfortable holding the hose and getting that out of the way and then kind of getting a feel for how the primer sprayed, it became really addicting, really fast to spray. It's a very satisfying process. Randall dialed in the fluid control so it's way more air than paint. That way he can get up in those crevices and not have any sort of runs. So Randall's definitely getting the hang of it, and I appreciate him doing this all first and learning it and doing all the studying. As you can see, I have no clue what I'm doing. I just pulled apart the PPS system like an absolute, I don't even know, caveman at that point, trying to figure out how this works, getting primer everywhere, get it all over my hands. But acetone becomes our friend real quick. Put a bunch of acetone in the gun. Once it starts to pee out a bigger stream, then you know it's cleaning out in the nozzle in the end. So we're going to take our nozzle off, throw it in the acetone cup. We're going to take a 19mm wrench, pop off the tip, throw that in the acetone, take the gun back to the trash can, put some more acetone through it. Go ahead, take off our fluid control. That unscrews all the way, and then the needle comes out. You clean out the needle, run more acetone through the gun, put the needle back when it's clean. Put your tip back on, put your nozzle back on, and then you're pretty much good to go. Your gun is clean, ready to rock for the next time you use it. And that's a basic rundown on how you clean it. Whether it's primer or paint, it's the same way across the board, clear coat, you name it, nothing changes. It is a pain. It takes a lot of time to clean these guns, and it's a big portion of what you spend your time doing. Start, you have 320 grit. We'll move to 400 grit, and I'll link in the description these rolls of sandpaper, and these are adhesive, so this peels back right here like a sticker, and then it sticks onto any of your DuraBlock. Are you on to 400 now?
Yeah, 400.
This is what we're looking at with the 320. 600 feel nice.
Smooth as a baby's butt.
We're gonna take one final look at this car in like 3 different colors. We're excited just to see it in primer, with primer on it. It's taken us a little over 3 weeks. We're finally to this point. the car at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Randall's coming over. I get to not get a lot of sleep. I get to work on my dream car. Let's get it. I'm freaking fired up. Randall, I'll be ready for you at 5 a.m. Let's get it, boys. Sun's out, all-nighter. It's time to paint. It's time to lay down base coat. You guys are gonna see what color it is. If you haven't picked up on some of the messes, you're probably thinking, I know exactly what color it is. That's what everyone is thinking. I'm gonna tell you it's slightly different, and I'm gonna show you some cold hard facts through some photographs at the end of this video, and we'll talk about it. So look out for that at the end of the video. I'll explain it. We'll see a direct comparison, and you'll be like, ooh, nice. I'll catch up with you at the end of the video. We'll talk about it. Randall's been taking care of this whole painting process, but I came out here by myself one night. I got some balls. I'm gonna paint the inside part of the door first. Depending on how that goes, how it dries, I will maybe paint the door. We're kind of on crunch time now, and I want to take some pressure off Randall and make some more headway on the car tomorrow, so get after it. Do one of these. Randall's got us dialed here. Base coat, 2 parts base coat, 1 part reducer. Mix it up. The reducer. Got our paint. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? mentioned that we made a major mistake, and this is where that happened. The booth heated up to about 130 degrees, which is about 15 degrees hotter than what we were used to working with. And when we waited about 10 minutes in between the clear coat layers, the last one we waited a little bit too long when we probably should have waited 5 minutes or less. We waited a little bit longer, and therefore what we did is dry sprayed the rear fenders and the roof so it has a texture, and it didn't come out very good at all. And we're gonna have to have someone come over and hopefully wet sand it and polish it and fix it. We were super bummed about this. Shiny, dull, textured, great, really bad. This whole rear fender is like that. Yeah, so if we have to respray this is an absolute nightmare. The roof looks like this as well. But hopefully we can wet sand it and polish it and it'll come out. So the next episode or two we'll be addressing to see if we can save our paint job, because this doesn't look good in person at all. And there you have it, folks.
Done deal.
Finally done. Oof, right here, dude, so sick. Look at that.
It's clean.
Freaking your freaking tubs all freaking dialed. We were supposed to wait a day, but Randall just couldn't even handle himself.
Nope.
World Rally Blue, huh? Wrong. Close, but not quite. You know me, I ain't gonna do something basic, but I'm still gonna respect the 22B style and have a proper blue car. But I still want mine to stand out if I went this far, so I got a slightly off super high metallic version that looks a little bit more teal in person. And check out this photo of the test fender sitting against my dad's 2007 STI that's actual like World Rally Blue in really good condition. You can see how much lighter it is. So you can imagine once the car is fully put together in the sun on the ground next to this, it's going to look great because I'll blend in with most Subarus. And it's a purist move, but I can also stand out in my own way very slightly. So I'm really pumped. I wanted to keep it purist. I wanted to keep it unique. And I feel like Jason over at Fat Fender helped me absolutely nail that. Pulled up to Fat Fender Garage. This is the first step in the painting process. I'm gonna go find Jason. He's my liaison with custom cars. This place is pretty wild. I actually have done video work for Jason since he had a way smaller shop and been able to watch him grow. Got coyotes laying around everywhere.
I think this is it.
Oh, we gotta look at that in the sun. That looks so nice.
The thing about paint is you like it to have a lot of flop, so you want it to...
What's flop?
Flop is just from the different angles, it flops to a different color. You know, changes a little bit. Now, you don't want it to go from like blue to purple, right? So, yeah. But you also want it to just have, when it has all those little edges and lines in a vehicle and it changes direction a little bit, you want that to also change color. So it provides more of a chiseled look. So anyways, we'll go outside here. If you see how that So that's what you're after. Let's go show it up against some bronze.
In a nutshell, what do you do here? For anyone that's never seen this.
We build some pretty cool trucks. From things like this, you know, cool stuff. We're developing parts and putting LS's and Godzilla motors and stuff to building, you know, super crazy, intense, one-off custom builds, you know, where they become like, you know, this was like C10 of the year. So pretty awesome customer, and yet at the same time, you know, they're hard, they're difficult. So we do body paint, everything here. So this is kind of a bronze color right here.
This is a lot darker in person. That looks good.
It's a satin finish. It's a little bit dirty, but
is this that same Cerakote color you sent me?
Mm-hmm.
It is?
Yeah.
It looks lighter. Is it because the lip maybe?
Maybe the lip.
So shout out to Jason at Fat Fender Garage. Their Instagram is great. Their YouTube channel is great. They're an awesome shop down the street from me. Jason's become a friend of mine because I started filming videos for him in his shop when I moved to Phoenix, and so I really appreciate his advice always. So shout out to Jason for helping me pick this color. This car's gonna be super rad when we're done. And let me know what you guys think about the color in the comments below. KarmaSpeed.com. Don't forget our jet tags. If you enjoy the videos, anything on Karma Speed, grab a hat, t-shirt, you name it, jet tag, all for the name of helping people build confidence in the garage. Appreciate you guys.